Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your travel god streaming NWO. It is I, your travel god streaming, the leader of the prophecy, Peter Joseph here, for a Wednesday afternoon video. Right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube wrestling channel. YouTube.com/Peter Joseph. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like the video. Hit that subscribe button down there in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below. Share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Leave a comment on the video if you like, but if you leave stupid comments, bye to you. You'll get sent to the Shadow Realm, and Ozzy and Satan will eat your soul. You'll never come back, because you'll be dead, pretty much. And that's it. You'll be dead. You'll be hidden. You'll be blocked. If you don't like it, tough shit. And that's that. And don't forget to tap and slap that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because you miss anything, well, that's too bad for you. Because you're SOL. You know what that means by now. I think you should. If you don't, you got problems. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. And if you're brand new here, if you're thinking about subscribing, please do. You know, I'm not forcing you to, but if you want to subscribe, then hit that subscribe button down below on all my on this channel and all my other channels as well. And when you do subscribe, thank you for your support. And as we say in the business, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab your nice, tasty, cold one. It's just water in here today. But sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You know, get out of here. Go watch somebody else, or go to your dead channel that nobody cares about. And that's pretty much it. Simple as that. Let me move on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. It's Hump Day! Hump Day! Yeah! It's Hump Day, ladies and gentlemen. Wednesday afternoon, November the 5th, 2025. Coming off a very interesting election day. Democrats swept all the races, the big races, especially in New Jersey, Virginia, New York, with that communist bastard Mamdani won. So, you know, New York's now a shithole. Not that it already was a shithole. So everybody's leaving. Well, not everybody, but, you know, but... Yeah, so we got Mamdani, the first Muslim mayor in New York history. I'll give him a chance, but if he starts fucking up, bye to you, dude. You take your ass back to the Holy Land. And that's all I gotta say about that. So, I'll give the guy a chance, but if he doesn't deliver, you gone. But the only good thing I like about the guy, he's a Met fan. I didn't know that, but he's a Mets fan, and he's an AEW fan. He's a wrestling fan. So you get 2 brownie points, dude. 2. Let's see if you can get a little bit more with me. Well, you know, we'll give him a chance. Let's give him a couple months to see what he does. And if he starts fucking up, those brownie points come back to me. So. But we got that. And still, the government's still fucked up as it is, but, you know. You gotta keep moving on, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a perfect world, I wish it was, but, you know, we move on. Everybody has to keep working and keep living. And if you can't do that, well, I'm sorry. And that's it. Alright, beautiful day here in the Northeast. Gonna get colder by the weekend, especially next week. Next week's gonna be like 35 degrees in the shade. Oy. So... And they're saying a bad winter here in my neck of the woods. Ugh. If my back can take enough. Hey, God gave the Northeast a reprieve for the last couple of years. Now, not so much this year. I think we're going to get a lot of snow pretty much after Thanksgiving. And I heard a rumor that there's going to be some snow after Thanksgiving, going into Christmas, and going into 2026. So... Thank God I stocked up on ice melt. I have piles of it. And we'll see what happens when we get there. But right now, I'm worried about Thanksgiving in 3 weeks, so let's just get through the next 3 weeks. We start the holiday season, and then after Thanksgiving, got Black Friday. Then Black Friday, where everybody just goes to the stores and gets pretty much beats each other up to get the latest fucking electronics. Morons. Can't wait till after that, That's why Black Friday should be abolished. I already done videos about how Black Friday should be abolished. But that ain't gonna happen, but, But yeah, then we start the great month of December, the greatest month in the world, where the greatest people celebrate birthdays. Can't wait for that. Ozzy's birthday's coming up. Chris and Maria from In This Moment, they're coming up pretty soon. I think you know another one, but... And then we got the end of the year coming up. About 8 weeks away. So, 2 months and change to the end of the year. So, let's make it memorable, and then we start 2026 on a clean slate. And that's pretty much it. And like I said in my community post on my rant channel, that I am taking a week off after Christmas. I will not be doing predictions for World's End. I will not be doing Raw and SmackDown and NXT, Ring of Honor, stuff like that, until January 2nd. So, the reviews will not come until after the new year. But I will be doing my first video of 2026 after the ball drops. So, that's going to be on my Peter Joe's, this channel, actually. So, we got that. So, stay tuned for that. And keep up with me for pretty much the next 7 weeks. After that, gabosh. But it is what it is. And we just move on, and then we start 2026 on a clean slate. And that's it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on this Wednesday afternoon, I do have to do some errands. So I'm going to get this done really quickly, because later on tonight, we got another edition of AEW Dynamite! And it's the go-home show before next week's Blood and Guts. So, Blood and Guts coming away next Wednesday from, I think Greensboro, South Carolina. I think it's Carolina, South Carolina. I think it is. One of the Carolinas. So we got that. We got some advantage matches tonight on the program. For the men and the women, because there are going to be men and women's Blood and Guts matches. It's going to be an insane show next week. Which might take the entire show. I don't know what else is going to happen, but we'll see what happens with that. But the advantage matches tonight for the men and women are best 2 out of 3. So it's going to be 6 matches tonight. And the winners of the best of 2 out of 3 get the advantage in Blood and Guts, so their team will probably get, man advantage or woman advantage, shit like that. Well, but we'll see what happens tonight on Dynamite! And we also got the women's tag team title tournament starting tonight, so that should be fun with the other matches that probably will happen, but we'll see. So it's a big night, 2.5 hour show tonight. Oy. Gonna feel like more than 2.5 hours knowing Tony Khan, but, I will have a 2.5 hour show, but it will last 3 hours. Please watch me. I will never blink. And then he blinks like after 5 minutes. Good old Tony Khan. Good old Tony Khan. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, after that spiel, it is time for your really late, so far out of date, and I really don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway, because it's my channel. Anyway. So, we're going to talk about last week's Collision and Dynamite Alright, so, your Dynamite review for October the 29th, 2025, from the Burt Ogden Arena in Edinburgh, Texas, which is outside of somewhere. It's probably near Dallas or something, I don't know. Who cares? Some rinky-dink freaking city with a bunch of rednecks. Hillbillies and cowboys. They got scared. Speaking of the Cowboys, how about them Cowboys? Horrible. They're horrible, but they got a big defensive end that'll get the defense, waking up, hopefully. Well, for Jerry Jones' sake, that guy should fucking retire. And what did the Niners do? Sit on our fucking asses! Nothing! No trades. We got two guys on defense. We couldn't make that big trade for Trey Hendrickson or anybody else that we could have got on defense. Or maybe offensive line, maybe. Kyle! Jed York, John Lynch, why did you sit on your proverbial fucking ass? Oh, we're 6-3, we're fine. Yeah, right. You got the Rams coming up this weekend in Santa Clara. That's not going to be fun. And then you got the Cardinals next week, who beat the Cowboys up this past Monday. Two big division games. I know the Niners are 3-0. I would love to beat both of them, and then not have to worry about the division, but you still gotta win. It's week 10. We got 8 weeks to go after this, and a bye week coming up. So, I mean, Sunday's game's a must-win. Put the division there, a half game out. You don't want to go a game and a half out, going into the Cardinals game. Well, going into week 14, I wanted the Niners to get at least 10 wins. At least 10. If they're 9-4 before the bye, they can still mathematically maybe get in as a wild card. But you got so many teams they want to get in, and the division might be a pipe dream by then. But we'll see what happens. Brock Purdy's getting better, but do I want him to start on Sunday? I'd rather go with the hot hand as Mac and Cheese Jones, but we'll see what happens with that. Alright, let's get into Dynamite. Let's not waste any more time than I already wasted, but you're still watching. I digress. Alright, our commentary team, as always, not this week. Taz got his shoulder in a sling. He got his shoulder surgery, so he'll be back probably like full gear. But last week we had the man behind the mask, Excalibur, dressed as himself, and then El Luchador, Brian El Luchador Fraggles and Danielson, commentators and lying through his teeth, son. You look like a complete idiot. I'm like, who are you? I'm El Luchador. Or whatever he called himself. Who gives a shit? Anyway, let's get into it. Alright, so it's Fright Night, baby! Not Fight Night, Fright Night, so it's the Halloween episode. So we start off with a tag team match player. We had Freshly Squeezed Orange Juice. And, hi guys, it's me, Darby, your great friend. I just want you to know, I dressed up as myself for Halloween. Because I'm a zombie, and I beat myself up just for you guys. I come from Seattle, and I live in my car. Get out of here, Darby. Anyway, so they take on the Death Riders of the man who dresses up as himself and he scares himself on Halloween and gets no candy. That's William Utah and the Dancing Fool, Danny Garcia, with, I believe, Marina Shafir's at ringside. This is a tornado tag team match. So, chaos and everybody's going, Buck Wild on that bitch! What? Buck Wild! Like Jay Briscoe would say. Alright, back and forth match. I'm not going to get at everything because I do have to go out, do some errands, and go for my walk before it gets dark. And it's going to get dark in about an hour and change. So I want to get that done. Because I got other things to do. Anyway. Alright, so they beat the crap out of each other. William Yuta puts Orange Cassidy through a table at ringside. So Darby grabs his skateboard. I'm gonna do an ollie. I'm gonna do an ollie, guys. With thumbtacks. I'm gonna break my back. He offers to Garcia for a free shot. Oh, God. Hi, Garcia! Hit me in the back! I'm doing it for the fans! Hit me, you bastard! Oh, guys, I'm so emo. Anyway, Darby's like, oh, fuck that. It's a code red for a near fall on Garcia, but then William Yuta broke up the coffin drop. Orange Cassidy's top rope DDT plants William Yuta. And then Darby hits the coffin drop on him for a near fall as Garcia made the save. But then, Orange Cassidy hits the orange punch. And it tasted yucky. He punches Garcia to the floor for a flippy dibbity-doo through the table. Ouch. Which allowed Darby to lock in the Scorpion Deathlock on William Yuta. And what does William Yuta do? What he does best. Tap out because he sucks. That's it. Alright, so Darby and Orange Cassidy get the win in just under 11 and a half minutes. Match was crazy, so I gave it a crazy 3 out of 5 stars. And then, that's it. We're off and running on Dynamite. Alright, then we hear from Send for the Man! Hook! You! Get in here with your Doritos! Get in here! Hook, ladies and gentlemen, with his Doritos. They're very tasty! They're very tasty. Mick Foley would tell you they're tasty, too. Right, Mick? Oh, very tasty! You want some? No, not today. Tomorrow I'll get some, okay? Okay, I'll tell Mikey to get you some. Fuck Mikey Ripwreck. Did you say my name? No! Why don't you send Mikey? Oh, fuck! I keep forgetting! Damn it, I gotta go. Bye! Okay, bye, Mike. And if you don't like my impressions, too bad. Because I do them better than you. But you're still watching. And if you don't want to watch, just click off the video right now. I don't care, it's still a view. Thank you very much. Anyway, Hook is ready to be the underdog in the #1 contenders match at the end of the show. With Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Will Hobbs, and I forget the other, and Rocky Romero, I think. Anyway, but he's also wanting to make sure Samoa Joe doesn't get another title shot. Well, I think you fucked up! But we got that. Alright, 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we hear from the bold bastard himself, Don Callis. He's ready for the Family Summit. But he calls the Young Bucks. Matt and Nick Jackson, if you didn't see BTE on Monday. Are they going to be in the Don Callis family? I hope not! There's too many people in there. There's like 55 people in the Don Callis family. It's insane. It feels like the NWO after, Hogan left. Well, even with Hogan, there was like that many people in the NWO. Even after, with the Wolfpack. And then NWO Silver with the Luchadors, the Jobbers and everything. It was like, ugh. And then they merged into the NWO Black and White, and then NWO 2000, which was the worst. I'm gonna be started with fucking WCW from 99 to 2001 under Russo. Ugh. I was talking to Easton the other day. It's like, hey, you want to go down the WCW rabbit hole? Watch Halloween Havoc 91. Not the entire thing. Just watch the first match. The Chamber of Horrors match. Which was horrible. That was insane. Fucking botching. Electrocuting Abdul the Butcher. By the way, get better, dude. He was in the hospital. God bless that man. I think he had something with his heart. But he's doing better, which is great. So we don't want to lose the Butcher. But yeah, that match was just garbage. I mean, we saw El Gigante. when he pretty much got thrown out of WWF at the time. He was in that match, a young stud, if you will, which later became Lisa Lamont Chico. Something happened to this, something happened to you, Chico. The Diamond Stud was in there. Scott Hall, the Steiners were in it. Vader, Sting. I forget who else was in that match. It was like ridiculous people in the match. Besides Abdul the Butcher, and then Cactus Jack in the Thunder Cage, and they bring down the freaking, the chamber where you had to put your opponent in the electric chair, tie him up in the electric chair, then had to hit the switch to electrify him. It was so dumb. Freaking Rick Steiner was there with Abdul the Butcher, and Abdul the Butcher was trying to, put Rick Steiner in, and Rick Steiner, reversed it, hit a belly-to-belly on the electric chair, and then he locked him in, and Mick Foley was like, poof! And then the whole fucking cage exploded, with them in it. It was insane. I was like, wait a minute, this ain't FMW? Before FMW even existed? Well, it kind of did, but I don't even know that was the first time we saw, explosives in a cage match before, exploding barbed wire and shit with Terry Funk and Onita and company. Oy. I gotta look that up. I think that's the first time in America we saw, people getting, electrocuted. Not with barbed wire, per se, but it was just, theatrics. Oh, fireworks! We got a guy, fake, But the match was just one of the worst matches in WCW history. And you thought the Viagra on a pole match was bad, or Judy Bagwell on a pole. Oh, God. Ugh, I hope we never see any of that shit again. But then again, we got Hunter and the idiots that run WWE, and, Tony Khan could throw out some bullshit match. This Dynamite hasn't been good for, the whole year? I mean, there's certain Dynamites have been great, but Collision has just been abysmal. Every week is, just what it is. Ring of Honor is even worse. Wrestling has just gotten to the point where nobody watches it anymore. 500,000 people at most watch AEW now. And then you look at NXT, they're getting around 600, maybe on an off chance of 700,000 and 800,000 on a good day. And then Raw and SmackDown, really SmackDown is doing a 1.0. I mean, it's Friday night. I understand that people are going out to do party, whatever they're doing, and with sports, I understand that, but still. Not like the days when Raw was beating the NBA back in the Attitude Era. This wrestling has just gone down the shitter. We still watch it, though. We still watch it because we love it. And I'll watch wrestling until I'm dead. Which won't be anytime soon. Sorry, guys. It is what it is. Alright, so Don Callis talks to the Bucks, pictures the Bucks joining the family, gives them a special entrance, so they go to the ring, they pass a cow, a man in black, and a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I'm like, wait a minute, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, is it Adam Page again from 3 years ago? Oy, oy, oy. And the man in black was not Will Smith. And the cow was just a cow. No, it wasn't Bessie either. But anyway, so we get to a a fatal four-way match for a shot at the tag team titles that Brodito has, and that's going to happen at Full Gear. So the Bucks get their entrance with the pyro scaring the crap out of them. Pyro! Shit. Like Eric Young coming out. Why would you get scared of fucking pyro? Unless it's coming at you! That happened to me one time. I was setting up, somebody was setting off fireworks. And then next thing you know, one of those spinny things, it goes, came right near underneath my woo-ha. I was scared shit. I'm like, I'm done. That's it. I'm like, I'm going inside and drinking a beer or whatever. I'm like, I got skin. That was a little, not a little bitty hoaxer, dude. It was in my teens, I think. Those things don't, you gotta stay away from those spinny things that's supposed to go up. Like the flying saucer things. They go, whoop. That flying saucer had a mind of its own and started going, whoop. I like made a beeline for my dick. I'm like, holy shit. If I didn't move, I would have probably had no dick by now. I'm like, ugh. I know it's TMI, but whatever. Funny story, though, but... Anyway, moving on. Alright, so we get to the Young Bucks, Jurassic Express, Jungle Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus taking on Jet Speed, Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight, along with FTR, Fuck the Revival, Cash, Got a Clock, Wheeler, and Daxie X Hardwood with Stokely, the Gets No Hose, Hathaway, at ringside, and on commentary. But anyway, this is a one-fall match for the tag team title shot. It was crazy as shit. Under 14 minutes, we get to the end. The Bucks go on a super kick party, kicking everybody and their mother. Then he hit the Shatter Machine of all things, the Shatter Machine on I forget who they hit it on. Then the PTE trigger gets a near fall on Kevin Knight, but Luchasaurus comes back to clean house, because he's a big man. Mike Bailey moonsaults onto Cash Got a Clock Wheeler, and then Luchasaurus, but a quick Shatter Machine. I mean, they picked him up, boom! Holy shit. Like a pop-up Shatter Machine almost. Finishes off Kevin Knight in under 14 minutes, so FTR will face Bro Dito at Full Gear for the tag team belts. Probably will be a title change. But then again, I thought it was going to happen at Wrestle Dream. Nope. And we got that. Alright, then we get a video for the Hangman, Adam Page, about to do some cowboy shit. And Samoa Joe from Wrestle Dream. We saw that. Alright, then we get not everybody from the Don Callis family. We got a few people there. For the Don Callis Summit, we have Okada, the Unified Champion, and Kyle Fletcher is there. Rocky Romero, S.A., who else? Lance Archer. Everybody dies. That guy. And a few other people are there. Hechicero is there. Hechicero got the big pop. I'm like, what? I was like, oh, right, we're in Texas. We're near Mexico, so. Hechicero, that's a better. Yay! Oh, Cito. Anyway, so we get that. So, the first, Rocky asks the first question, who is the Don Callis family? They're the most dominant faction of all wrestling. Somebody forgot the Elite. Somebody forgot the NWO. Ese, pero, cabrón. El Stupido. That's what you are, Rocky Romero. El Stupido. How can you forget the Elite? How can you forget the Bullet Club, to shoot you for the love of God? And the NWO, to shoot you for the love of God? Brain fart! Anyway. And, they completely forgot Takeshita, the IWGP champ. So then, Rocky Romero reveals a new painting of the family with a very muscular Don Callis in the center, looking like he's Jesus. And he has his wings and shit flapping around. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then Josh Alexander asks the second question, what is the Don Callis family? He says, we take care of that we get a video package, he doesn't say it. We get a video package of the entire family, which was kind of boring. And then Kyle Fletcher, the TNT champion, asks the same fucking question. I'm like, what is this, the SATs? I took it 45,000 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it! So he reads the plagues they all signed before joining the family. I plagues who suck every week! Anyway, and then Takeshita thankfully comes out to interrupt. Callis tells Takeshita this is a family of alphas, and then Takeshita and Okada go face to face. Ooh. And he says there's no I in team, but there is one in family, so he needs Takeshita to put his issues aside with Okada. Take it easy, tranquilo. Why you so crazy? Stuff like that. So Don Callis refers to the IWGP title as theirs, demands that they shake hands. So Takeshi's like, alright. And then Okada's like, and then Takeshi gets all pissy, and they're about to go at it. And then he puts them in a tag team match on Collision to see if they can actually coexist, which I'll get to in a moment. That's that. So, crazy family summit, but it is what it is. All families are nuts, but it is. That's that. Alright, then we get a video for Olympia from CMLL. She's going to challenge the 12-belt whore, Mercedes Moné, for the CMLL women's title. Is she going to win? No. Then we get that. But then we hear from Chris Cakelander, the women's champion. She's willing to meet Mercedes face-to-face later on if Mercedes has anything to say to her. Well, we'll see what happens with that. Moving on. Alright, then we get to John Moxley taking on Kyle O'Reilly. Auto Parts. Winning Shafir at ringside, obviously. Alright, it was actually a pretty decent match. But in the end, Moxley gets sent outside, taken out with a flippy dippity doo, followed by a dragon screw leg whip into the barricade. Ow! And then a Death Rider attempt onto the chair gets countered into a guillotine on the outside, and then they both get counted out in under 12 minutes. So match ends in a count out, but it's still pretty decent, 3 out of 5 stars. And then afterwards, Kyle takes issue with the referee, Orby Edwards, who then gets decked by Marina Shafir. Damn. That's gonna cost you some money there, Marina, but you don't care. You're the Defy Women's Champion, so. And now you're with Megan Bayne in that women's tag team title tournament because Penelope Ford is getting Tommy John surgery, of all things. Holy shit. She's going to be out a year and a half. But at least she gets to stay home and bang Kip Sabian. Ugh. So, it sucks that you can't wrestle, but you wrestle in bed with Kip Sabian. But win-win, I guess, for Penelope Ford. But anyway, we want to. Claudio Castagnoli, the Swiss, he runs in to take out Kyle O'Reilly, but then Roderick Strong goes in for the save, but fail that. Then the Death Riders run in. The other Death Riders come in and take Roddy out. But then the entire conglomeration come out. And, hi guys, it's me again, Darby. They make the save. Mark Briscoe, the funky chicken himself, says the Death Riders like to run off. So he's like, okay, Orange Cassidy, tell him what's gonna happen. And he's like, and then Orange's like, no, I don't want to do it. No, please, no. All right, fine. Blood and Guts throws the mic. So we got Blood and Guts for the men, and we're getting a women's version. With that, but yeah. So we got the Death Riders versus the conglomeration in Blood and Guts, which should have happened. How long ago? 6 months ago. Getting it in November. This should have happened in July or August. I don't know. But it's gonna be bloody as fuck next week. Well, maybe, the men, obviously. Women, I don't know. I'd love to see some women with gushing crimson mask shit. I don't think we're gonna see, like, a woman get thrown off the top of the cage. I would love that, but, I'm a maniac. But I digress. But, the men's match, somebody's going off the top of that cage to the death. I wish it was Sammy Guevara, but he's not in the match. It might be Mark Briscoe, knowing the creepy, crazy man he is, or Darby. Darby went off that cage at, it was All Out. Was it all out? I forget. Anyway. So we get that. So you know somebody's going to go crazy on that in that men's match. Probably Darby. But we have that. Alright, then we see Chris Statlander and Mercedes Moné brawling in the back. They go into the arena, and Mercedes gets the mic, actually sends it in the ring, and then Athena, the Ring of Honor Forever champion, comes in and hits the O-face, lays her out, and then, honey! Cameron and Willow, who are going to be taking them on tonight in the start of the tournament, they come in and make the save. I was like, oh, good, we're going to get a 6-woman tag? Oh, wait, we got to get another partner for Athena and Mercedes. Well, that didn't happen. And we move on. Alright, then we hear from the Ring of Honor Men's World Champion, Bandito Ese. He's ready to face Mascara Dorada on Collision. And, we get a little video. He brought his grandmother to see him wrestle for the first time. That was pretty damn nice. Hey, Grandma, see me wrestle, let's see. So we get that. Alright, then we found out, like I said, Penelope Ford is out of Blood and Guts. And the Women's Tag Title Tournament. And Marina Shafir comes in to kind of stare down Megan Bayne. I was like, oh yeah, give me a match with them. But now they're teaming up, and they're actually a pretty good tag team. So we get that. So we start the tournament with the Sisters of Sin. That's Sky Blue and my girl Julia Hart. They take on Daphne from Scooby-Doo, Jamie Hayter, and the one and only Queen Aminata. 10-minute match. Wasn't a bad match. Thekla comes in and spears Jamie Hayter down, which leaves the Sisters of Sin to hit an assisted swinging rock bottom on Queen Aminata, so they get the win to go into the next round. So, I don't think they're going to win. Obviously, it's probably going to be Tony and my girl Mina Shirakawa, or they give it to Athena and Mercedes 13 belts Renee. It could be 14 belts by the time we get done with full gear. Oy. But we'll see. Alright, then, like I mentioned, Marina Shafir and Megan Bayne are now a team. Moxley approves of that. Oh, this is good! Or the ever so popular Kenny Omega meme. We get that. Alright, then we get to the main event of Dynamite Fatal 4-Way match to see who faces Hangman at Full Gear. We got Hook, Samoa Joe, Bobby Lashley, and Ricochet. Actually, a pretty good wild brawl. But we're going to get to the end. Almost 12-minute match. We got a shooting star press. Gets a near fall on Hook by Ricochet. Goes for a spirit gun. It gets countered into the Katahajime, the Red Rum. Samoa Joe breaks that up, and then Bobby Lashley breaks up the Muscle Buster with a spear. Then Ricochet makes the save with a chair to Lashley, who chases him up the aisle. They're out of the match. So it's basically Hook and Samoa Joe, and Joe locks in a Coquina clutch, and Hook tapped out. So we're gonna run it back at Full Gear for the World Heavyweight title. Joe, Hangman, well, really 3, but it's 2. So we got that. Match was alright, 3 out of 5 stars. After the match, the Ops come in, Shibata and Will Hobbs. They're coming for the contract signing, which we could have done on Collision or next week. But the Dynamite crew come in. People from the Cow, the freaking Marshmallow Man, and the Man in Black. They all come in. We got a chicken and some meat. What is this? Hobbs and Shibata clear them out. And except for the State Pup Marshmallow Man, who they thought was the Hangman Adam Page, but it's just some random guy. Who are you? What do you do here? Some guy in a State Pup Marshmallow Man costume, got his $50 and got his ass handed to him. I guess that's a good night. Hey, 150 bucks, get your ass kicked? Come on in. Anyway, so Joe knocks him down, signs a contract, and promises to win the title. And then we hear from Tony Schiavone, over some beers for a toast, but it's not Tony Schiavone, it's Hangman Adam Page, smart champ. In the Tony Schiavone look, he dressed up as Tony Schiavone, jumps Samoa Joe, and then referees and people come out to stop this wild, humongous brawl that ends Dynamite, which was actually the best part. And that's it. So Dynamite, I gave 6.5 out of 10 stars. And that's it. Alright, we're going to get to Collision, and then we are getting out of here, because I got some things to do. We move on with that. Where are we here? Alright, so Collision, as well from the Burt Ogden Arena in Edinburgh, Texas. Tony Baloney Schiavone and the great man from England, Nigel McGuinness, me love. They're on commentary for Fright Night 2. Well, Night 2, we get that. Alright, so we started off Collision with a video focusing on the Dia de la Muertes. The Day of the Dead. I thought it was a match, but the Day of the Dead on Halloween. The day after Halloween, because it was November 1st, 2025. We go look at the card. We get the opening sequence. Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. Elton John singing us out and all that shit. So we start off with a tag team match. So we have Okada and Takeshita. Can they coexist? Don Callis on commentary. They take on, the so-called acclaimed Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. No scissoring yet, ladies, but we can do that later. But anyway, pretty good match. The teasing of Okada and Takeshita kept going. Okada starts beating down Bowens, and he's like, "Fuck you, Takeshita, stop that!" And then Caster tags himself in, and then we get, "Let's go, Max, you're the best wrestler alive, shut up!" Anyway, and then everything breaks down. Takeshita hits a Tower of Doom, and a powerbomb to Okada. Bowens plays Okada, but Caster tags himself in to load up the top. Well, Macho Man elbow, yeah! Did it! But he didn't hit it like Randy would hit it, right, Randy? Nobody hits it like me! Macho Man! Is that right, Miss Elizabeth? That's right, Randy. Hi, Mr. Joseph. Hi, Liz. Thank you. You're looking great. Thank you. Stop looking at her, damn it! Shut up, Randy. Eat a Slim Jim. Oh, yeah! Stab it to it. Okay. So he goes up the top of elbow, but then him and Caster start arguing. Okada hits the Rainmaker on Anthony Bowens, which leads to Takeshita to tag himself in for Raging Fire on Max Caster. Even though his shoulder was on Takeshita's leg during the pin. Somebody forgot. Botchamania right there. Referee didn't even see it. But Okada and Takeshita get the win in 14 minutes. And they're still at odds. I still think that we're gonna get either a title for title match at Full Gear or something. So we get that. Match was 2.5 out of 5 stars. After the match, Don Callis makes them raise their hands, but they're not happy. I don't want to put my hand up with you. Get out of here. Alright, we get that. Alright, then we hear from Holly Cameron and the Western Fun Girl. Bam! Willow Nightingale. They're a team because they have matching gear. And you can take the babes out of the wrath, but you can't take the wrath out of the babes. Okay. Alright, so we get that. 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Then we get a video on Timeless Tony Storm, darling bosom, and my girl Mina Shirakawa. I think they have a match this week. I don't know. Anyway, so we get that. That was very nice. And then we get to the CMLL Women's Title match. Olympia taking on Mercedes 12 Bells Monet. Chris Cakelander on commentary. So they pose, Vogue, you know. All we need is, Madonna to go, come on, Vogue, Let your body move to the music, or whatever. Alright, match wasn't even great. 11 minutes. Mercedes retains, obviously, with the statement maker, after even getting into an argument with Cake Lander. And that's pretty much it. So, Mercedes retains the CMLL title. After the match, Mercedes has to run away from Cake Lander, who's about to kick her ass. So, match wasn't great. 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we get a Dynamite recap. Not that you needed to see it, but if you missed it, then there you go. Alright, then we see the Young Bucks. Once again, they are distraught. Don Callis comes in, and he's gotten them a 6-man tag team match at Full Gear, where they can team with Josh Alexander against Jurassic Express and Kenny Got Omega. Bang! And the prize for the winners, $1 million! Why is Tony Khan giving the Bucks all this money? They only get $200,000 or $250,000, whatever it was. They got $500,000. And what happened? We saw BTE, we know. Nick Jackson completely blew all that money. They were left with like 30-something bucks. Now they go for $1 million. How does that get broken up in 3 though? It's like $333,000 they're gonna get about. Because you think about it, 333, which ends as $999,000.99. $1 million match with 3 people getting $333,000. Great. So they're just like, hey, Tony Khan, I got a lot of money. It's like he's playing poker with the cards. Here's my money. Make it rain. Tony, don't you need that for your cocaine stash? It runs out after every Dynamite and Collision and pay-per-view. And then 2 months later, I gotta get my cocaine! Somebody order my cocaine! Thank you! Then he takes his freaking... I'll use this as reference. His freaking Perrier or his water or coffee. And does one of those stupid faces. Like he almost choked. He doesn't blink! Hey, but he's got the money. He's getting it from his dad, Shad Khan. I give you money and I give you a ghost later, and then we go to the squishy. We go to the quickie bar to get a squishy. Then we're gonna go to the Indian restaurant and have some curry. Some chicken curry. You like that, Tony Khan? I just destroyed India right now. I'm sorry. Because I have a lot of people from India that actually watch my show. I am sorry. There goes the Indian fan base. I'm sorry. Now all the people from India that have been subbing to my channel, I know you are. They're gone. I'm sorry. I'm not racist or anything like that. I'm just being funny. And if you don't like my sarcasm and my snide remarks, don't watch. But you're still gonna watch me. It's like everybody watches me from around the world. And that's a fact. I don't have to show you anything. It's a fact. People from South Africa watch my show. People from freaking Iraq and Iran watch my show. Other parts of Africa. Japan, religiously, because everybody loves me in Japan. Right, ladies? Zang! They love me in Japan. They love me in China. They love me in Australia. There's certain people from Australia I don't give a fuck. But anyway, love Australia. New Zealand, the Philippines, I think Korea I saw at one time. Where's the comments from them? They're around, but you can't tell where they're from. I get a comment on one of my videos. Oh, great video, Peter. And I was like, okay, thank you. And I have to, sometimes I look, at the channel, whether it be they made it like 12 years ago, they made it today, whatever. They hide like where they're from. Like, I'm supposed to know. Oh, they're from some rinky-dink bingo hall or something like that in Philadelphia. I don't know. But, thank you for the support. Thank you for the views. From Canada, Mexico, South America, everywhere. Even on Mars. No, I'm kidding. Even Pluto. God. Even your anus. Have you seen your anus lately? It's pretty dark. Ugh. I know my jokes are bad, but they're funny at the same time. Alright, we move on. Alright, so we'll see what happens with the Bucks and Josh Alexander taking on Kenny by God Omega and Jurassic Express for possible $1 million. Dollars. Alright, we get that. Alright, then we go to tag team action. We get to Marina Shafir and Megan Bayne, the Megasus. They team up against the Lovers. Yes, they are actually lesbians. Nixon Newell, otherwise known as Tegan Knox, Rainbow Bright. Remember her from WWE? They ruined her badly. And she teams up with her, I guess, girlfriend, or I don't know what she is to her, but I guess they're like together. Girlfriend, whatever it is. Miranda Alizé, remember her? Man, it took like a year and a half for Tony Khan to wake up and bring back Miranda Alizé. Was it doing so good on the indie circuit, which she basically does. And I saw her like about a year or two ago, when she was on Ring of Honor, not every week, but you would see her every time. And I talked to her, I was like, well, we need to see you more. She goes, you think? I go, Miranda, if I owned freaking Ring of Honor, you'd be on every freaking week. Because you're so good. And you look good, too. Because when you look good, you feel good. That's a commercial. Alright, so we had this match. I was like, oh boy. I was like, yeah, Marina and Megan are going to annihilate them. And they did in just under 2.5 minutes as Megan grabs Tegan Knox, gives her the running Liger bomb, and then Marina Shafir locks in Mother's Milk on Miranda Alizé. So it was just a squash match. It's sad to see that Miranda and especially Miranda Alizé. I mean, forget Rainbow Bright for a minute. We can't forget Rainbow Bright. Shut up, Lucky. Anyway, I miss saying that. Just sucks that Miranda Alizé got squashed in 2.5 minutes. I know you're trying to build Marina and Megan up as a monster tag team and possibly, one of the favorites to win the tournament, but Miranda and Tegan Knox should have just been left on, Ring of Honor to do the tag team division there. Or singles action. I don't know. Alright, we get that. Alright, so after that. So 2 out of 5 stars for that. Then we unveiled the lineups for the Women's Blood and Guts match. So it's going to be the Triangle of Madness. So it's going to be Thekla, Sky Blue. Damn, it's going to be like... How many people in this match? Holy shit. Alright, so we got Sky Blue, Thekla, Julia Hart, Megan Bayne, Marina Shafir, Mercedes Moné. That's 6 people. Going up against Jamie Hayter, Queen Aminata, Willow Nightingale, Harley Cameron, Toni Storm, and Chris Statlander. 12-woman cage match. But it's a double cage, so you can fit all 12 in there. And then we got the Death Riders against a conglomeration, which are like 35 people. So Ishii might be in that match. So it's going to be Mark Briscoe, Ishii, Kyle, Roddy. Am I missing somebody? And Darby. I think we're gonna have a 10-man men's match, unless I forgot 2 people. We got Moxley, Pac, Claudio, Danny goes, yes, 5. So we got 5-on-5 for the men, 6-on-6 for the women. That's a little bit overkill. That's the women. So basically, almost everybody on the women's roster is in this fucking match, except for Mina, but... Look at that. Alright, then we get to La Facción de Ignobles. That's, the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara, one half of the tag team champions of Ring of Honor. He teams up with Jadistico to take on the conglomeration of Roddy and Mark Briscoe. And Commander. Commander was in the match, too. Who else was in the match? Oh, the Beast, Mortas, was in the match, too. So no, Bruce in the match. He was probably in Mexico eating a taco. I don't know. But, you mess with the bullets, you get the horns. Okay. Pretty decent match. It ends with Commander coming back in with a springboard, poisoning Rana, leaving Mark Briscoe to hit the J-Driller on Jalisco to get the win in just under 12 minutes. Match was decent, 3 out of 5 stars. We get that. Alright, then we get a recap of Hangman Adam Page dressed as Tony Schiavone, or Tony Baloney Schiavone, attacking Samoa Joe to end Dynamite. So we get that. And then we get a promo from Eddie Kingston checking on his good buddy Hook after the Fatal 4-Way match, losing Samoa Joe, but doesn't have much to say. But they're teaming with Hangman Adam Page on Dynamite tonight. I think they're taking on the Ops. Okay. You have nothing to say, Eddie? Great build for the match! Yes, I'm so mad I almost threw this fucking binky-dink thing off. Why do you take wrestling so serious, Peter? I don't. I'm just mad sometimes at, the way it's produced and shit. The storylines are just... Why? It's my review, my thoughts. You don't like it? Tough. Go do your own video. I don't take wrestling seriously or anything seriously. I just don't care. Alright, moving on. Alright, MXMTV are here for their casting call. So we have Monsieur, Massey Madden, Johnny TV, and his hot wife, Taya Valkyrie. Alright, so they come out, and they do the usual shit with, I think, Arcady Aura. And she announces their opponents, the Bang Bang Gang of Austin Gunn and Tony Storm's husband, Juice Robinson, and their tag team partner, well, formerly of ABC, and that's the newcomer Ace Austin, who, once again, did the Too Sweet. I miss ABC. I miss the Bullet Club. There's not much of it left. Even though they're there in Japan, but it's the Bullet Club OG. The OG, well, not the Bullet Club War Dogs or the Bullet Club OG, whatever it is. Not the same Bullet Club we know and love, but that's another story for another time. This match stunk. 3.5 minutes suckfest. Did I say 3.5 minutes suckfest? Yeah. So we get a forward DDT, hits Johnny TV, and a powerbomb against a near-fall on Monsieur. Then they hit the double suplex, drops Mace Madden, and then Ace Austin hits the fold to finish off Johnny TV in 3.5 minutes. I didn't give 2 fucks about this match, so get that. Alright, then we get a what's coming up on next week's shows. And then we get a recap of Máscara Dorada challenging Bandito for the Ring of Honor title. Their first match was epic. So let's run it back. Why not? Alright, so we get to the main event of Collision for the Ring of Honor World title. Máscara Dorada SA taking on Bandito. If you thought the first match was good, this was great. Not as great as the first one, but pretty damn good. Bandito gets the win with the 21 plex to retain a title in under 23 minutes. But back and forth match, lots of flippy dippity doos. The shoulder came into play because Bandito still has a bum shoulder, and that's it. So great match. 4.25 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, you'll love to see it, a code of honor with two guys that are just great. And that's it. So, Collision was a little bit better in my eyes than, well, not so much better than Dynamite. So, I'm going to give both shows 6.5 out of 10. And that's it. Alright, guys, I got to get out of here because it's getting dark and I got things to do. Some errands to run. Then I'm going to have my late, I'm going to have some early, I didn't have my lunch yet. So, I'm going to go grab something to eat, then do some errands, and I will be back later tonight with your NXT review. We'll talk about AEW tomorrow. And then hopefully get back on the right foot. And then we'll go into the weekend, where we got nothing this weekend. Next weekend we got nothing either. We don't got anything until the 22nd. So we got 17 days of, to wait to a pay-per-view. And that's up. Unless, TNA has a special coming up, I think. But I hope TNA has an episode tomorrow and not like a recap show or something like what we had last week with the Hardys Halloween special, which was wonderful, yes! TVs! Something like that. So hopefully we got a new episode of matches this week on on TNA. Ring of Honor, will be Ring of Honor this week as we're rolling on to Final Battle. 4 weeks from Friday. Can't wait for that. The final pay-per-view of the year for Ring of Honor. We got Full Gear, and then we got World's End, I believe number 3, coming up at the end of the year, December the 27th, I believe. And Full Gear is going to be in Jersey, November the 22nd. Am I going? I wish, but it's easy to get to. Very easy. All I have to do is take the bus to the train to Penn Station, get on the New Jersey Transit train, take that train, basically one stop, and I'm at Newark Penn Station, and then I walk right to the fucking the Prudential Center, the Rock, and I'm there. And then on the way back, do the same fucking thing. But it's late, so I have to take the New Jersey Transit train back to Penn Station, then take the train back home, but then I gotta take a cab because the buses in my area don't run after midnight. But by the time I get back, it'll be like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Because Full Gear is gonna last like 12, almost after 12, and I have to gotta get out early because I think the last New Jersey Transit train out of Jersey is like I think around 1 o'clock. So unless they change that, but so. Once it ends or get out by 11:45, run to the train station, get home to New York or wherever you live safely. But I'm not going this year, so I got other things to do. So I will watch the pay-per-view, and then the next night I got a concert, so big concert too. So I'll not be around on the 23rd because I got a big metal concert that night, and I gotta do some stuff that night too. Anyway, moving on. Alright, so 6.5 out of 10 stars for both shows. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and like Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's it. Alright guys, I gotta get out of here. Thanks for watching, and until later tonight with your NXT review right here on the channel. I'm Peter Joseph, signing off. Peace out, rock on, and rock hard with your coot. And if you're not down with that, well, I got 3 words for you. Fuck you, man. That's it. Until next time. Peace.